welcome. You're watching Medically Speaking, and I am Meenakshi Upreti. Now it's World Arthritis Day. Arthritis, a debilitating disease which affects many Indians, but it's hardly spoken about. There's a lot of misconception around the disease. Early diagnosis is key, but that is very rare. Now, what exactly is arthritis? What are the types of arthritis? What are the symptoms? Who is more susceptible to the same? Surgery, when is it required, and post surgery, the care which is needed. We will be talking about all of this and more and debunking all the myths around arthritis in the coming half an hour. To help me do the same, I have a panel of experts with me. I'd like to thank all of you for joining me on NewsX. Dr. Uma Kumar, she is HOD Rheumatology, AIIMS. We have Dr. C.S. Yadav. He is the chairman of Orthopedic Department from the Primus Hospital. And then, of course, we have Dr. Sanjay Vadhva. He is HOD, Physical Medicine Rehabilitation Department from AIIMS. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to ask the first question really from Dr. Uma. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you a most basic question, and we're going to start with basics really. What exactly, ma'am, is arthritis? And I ask you this because there's a lot of misconception around the same. Many in the beginning, and I'm sure all of you must have seen your patients who come at you at a later stage. Initially, they have totally confused it. For a simple joint pain, many take painkillers for years. Only at a later stage do they realize that they have a debilitating condition like this, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes. First of all, thank you so much, Meenakshi, for having me on the show. And this is a very basic and a very important question. What is arthritis? Here at the outset, I would like to tell that all joint pains are not arthritis. Arthritis is only when one develops a pain in the joint, there's swelling around the joint is red, hot, and when the patient wakes up in the morning or after prolonged inactivity, there is severe stiffness in the joints, right, which lasts for more than 30 minutes. So that is the classical definition of arthritis. And arthritis is just one of the symptoms of many types of rheumatological disorders. So it's not like arthritis is a diagnosis, is it just one manifestation? And there are more than 200 conditions where patients can have arthritis.
Right. And, Dr. Vadhva, to come in here, sir, before we talk about surgery, arthritis, as of course, Dr. Kumar had said, is a umbrella term. There are 100 plus type of rheumatic diseases which are within the same. Take us through really the most prevalent sort of arthritis which are there in our country. And of course, help us dispel the myth around arthritis, because in India, when anyone speaks arthritis, colloquially, of course, called Gathia by many, they believe it's just that, and it affects only people at an older age.
As you have just now said, there are more than 100 types of arthritis. But for the common people, it is important to realize that 4 main types of arthritis are rheumatoid arthritis, which is an inflammatory kind of arthritis, osteoarthritis, which is a degenerative arthritis, so-called wear and tear process in the joints, and gouty arthritis, and spondyloarthritis. So out of these 4 main groups, osteoarthritis is the commonest if we look at the society at large. And rheumatoid arthritis is inflammatory, and it is more serious than many others.
Right. So, sir, we are on the bookish definition. Let's simplify it and break it down further for the layman. Dr. Vadhva, come in here. Surgery. Of course, many want surgery to be their last option. I asked you a very basic question again, because that's a query which we had been getting from our viewers also, sir. Is there any cure for arthritis, or is pain management the only possible way till, of course, it reaches a point you have no option other than surgery, sir?
There are many things which can be done for persons with arthritis. Surgery is sometimes required. It can play a significant role in the life of a person with arthritis.
Okay.
The fact that sometimes surgery is required does not mean that it is an indication of failure of treatment.
Mhm.
Surgery, if decided at the right time and performed by the
When does sir one decide that they need a surgery? Dr.
it's
Yadav, I'll come to you, sir. Let me just bring all the panelists in, and then we'll broad base the discussion further. Dr. Yadav, when would you
Yeah.
suggest your patient to go for surgery, sir? And I ask you this from a personal point of view as well. My mother is an arthritis patient. She has been told by many rheumatologists, orthopedic surgeons that she needs surgery. She won't get it. She's scared. She wants to manage pain. What will you tell those who are scared of surgery? As Dr. Yadav very rightly and succinctly pointed out, surgery doesn't mean failure of medication.
Yeah, a very nice question. Thing is that when X-ray is very bad, clear cut, we have find out the pain originates from the arthritis, that is articular damage. Second, the activity of daily living of patient is significantly affected. I call it is significantly affected when limbs are bowed and gait is disturbed. If patient have all these symptoms day-to-day basis, she is in pain and gait is affected, X-ray shows X-ray is very bad, then this is the real case for the surgery. And honestly speaking, if surgeon is good, joint replacement surgery is almost 100% successful. This all depend on your surgical skills. Then implant choice as well. The implant choice matters only 10%. Most important thing, surgical skills. If you do it properly, it lasts. I always say on media, all challenge. If you do a total knee replacement or total hip replacement at the age of 50, it will last lifelong. So it is like it goes like 20 years, 30 years if you do it properly and use implant of proper biomaterials. So that is most important, is really change the life of the patient. And the orthopedic surgery has been revolutionized by the joint replacement.
Yeah.
Total knee replacement is maximum done all over in the world because it gives result. In whatever failure the fear patient they have because of failure, it is because of surgical errors. And sometimes if you do in very poor infrastructures, patient may get infection in not a small nursing home, nor asepsis is not properly maintained like that. So this is my take.
No, I'll tell you, sir. So you mentioned a couple of points. Let me break them down. And Dr. Roma, if you could come in. First of all, interestingly, sir, you said she. You used, to describe your patient, maybe you did it inadvertently. You said she may be suffering from a joint pain. Her life may be affected. So, Dr. Roma, before we discuss, of course, surgery, post-surgery care in detail, let's come back to the basics. Does arthritis affect females more than men? Because that also is something which a lot of us think, including me, because even in my family and people I know, it's mostly women who seem to be affected by these diseases much more than men. What really, if this is true, what really is the cause for the same, ma'am?
You are absolutely correct in saying that females are affected more than males. And there are certain reasons behind it. And the only arthritis which is more common in males is gouty arthritis. What happens actually, the immunity genes, they are located on X chromosome. And women, they have double X chromosome, right? So anything which gets wrong would affect more a person who has, more robust immunity. So autoimmune causes for arthritis, as you all know, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, scleroderma, Sjogren, and many more, they are common in women. Also, the female sex hormones, they are involved in immunity. So when the immunity is getting aberrant, it's moving in a wrong direction. So women would be affected more. And otherwise also in their, their lifestyle is also very erratic. They don't eat well. The way they work at home is also not normal, lifting weight, sitting, cross legs, squatting. And even doing puja in a particular posture where there's too much of pressure on knee predisposes them to osteoarthritis. So yes, women are affected more with arthritis than men.
Right. And since we're speaking of who is afflicted more with arthritis and who is most susceptible to the same, Dr. Vadhva, if you could come in. Apologies, I interrupted you earlier, but then I had mentioned something about young versus old, sir. There seems to be a common misconception that arthritis affects only people at a older age, and that also delays diagnosis, isn't it, sir? If you could help bust this myth for us, is it true at all that arthritis only affects the elderly and not the young at all?
Arthritis can affect individual at any age.
Yeah.
Children also get affected by arthritis, but there are different types of arthritis which are more common among children. There are other types of arthritis which are more common in adults and middle-aged individuals. And as I informed in the beginning itself, the wear and tear induced or degenerative arthritis, which is medically called osteoarthritis, that is definitely more common as the age advances. So there is a difference in the types of arthritis. Overall, age-related degenerative changes are definitely more prevalent in elderly, but children also suffer from arthritis, and children's arthritis is different from that of the adults.
So, sir, since everyone can be affected with arthritis, yes, possibly, as you said, that perhaps, in the elderly, it's more prevalent, but the younger ones can also be afflicted with the same, sir. Dr. Yadav, how can is it possible for someone, first of all, to avoid surgery? Does early diagnosis help at all, sir? Because, as Dr. Yadav also said, it can affect anyone, the younger as well. But if, for example, let's say I even have a constant joint pain, arthritis would be the last thing in my mind. I may apply, some ointment or take painkillers. How significant or important is early diagnosis? And can it help prevent a surgery at all, sir?
Basically, prevention is only thing which is always matters. And if you thing is that proper exercise, every joints needs exercises. I have seen in the practice, most of the doctor, they write just few medicine. If somebody goes to the doctor, they write few medicine. Even they have not advised exercise. And it is the arthritic management more, except the rheumatoid and different gouty arthritis, few arthritis, the majority of the arthritis, they need proper exercises. And proper exercises means muscle strengthening exercises, and those muscles which are rigid, muscle stretching exercises, muscle balancing exercise, and weight reduction. These are the most important things, yes, which matters more than the drugs. So definitely prevention, most of the arthritis can be prevented, and you will not reach to the level of surgery. It is true, and we should prevent the arthritis.
So, you say prevention of arthritis. Dr. Uma, just come in here. Is it possible to completely prevent arthritis? Because then there is genetic predisposition also. You spoke of lifestyle. All of you spoken about this. And of course, smoking, drinking, which are the afflictions of modern life. Obesity. That, of course, lifestyle overall, lack of nutrition, especially in women. All of this adds up, of course, to the disease. But, ma'am, prevention better than cure. Possible to totally prevent arthritis, perhaps by modifying or keeping your lifestyle good right from the beginning?
Look, we are talking about different types of arthritis, right?
Yes,
so
correct.
If we take precautions, we can surely prevent arthritis to a great extent and also delay the onset of arthritis. I cannot make that statement that only lifestyle is going to control the occurrence of arthritis completely, because there are many factors, as you pointed out, that there are genetic predispositions, there are environmental factors which include smoking, air pollution, recurrent infections, pesticides and chemicals in the food stuff. So all those factors, and there are certain unknown factors. So we cannot completely prevent arthritis. It's like we
can manage it better, ma'am.
Lifestyle disease.
We can manage it better, at least with lifestyle, isn't it?
Yes, that is very, very important. And along with the medicines, exercise, lifestyle management is very, very important. And even I would like to bring in here that even yoga helps a lot in controlling arthritis. And it's very important for people to understand that arthritis are completely treatable. I'm not using the term curable, but they are just treatable like diabetes, hypertension, or for that matter, any communicable disease. Early treatment is very, very important. We say there's window of opportunity. That means where there's no irreversible damage which has happened, at that period of time we intervene. So we can prevent deformity, disability, and the replacement surgeries as we are talking about.
Right. Dr. Vadva, coming here, the question which, of course, arrives in one's mind is there any cure for arthritis? Is it just pain management? Help us understand in layman's terms, those diagnosed with arthritis, what would their early treatment entail? Would treatment entail even an attempt to cure the disease, if not completely, to a large extent? Or is it focused more on pain management?
Any comprehensive treatment plan will try to relieve the symptoms, which very often is pain and stiffness. But it will go much beyond that. It will try to focus on the quality of life of the individual, because when a person is suffering from an illness which traditionally is considered not curable, it has to be endured. But it has to be endured in a manner so that his quality of life is maintained. That person is able to carry on with the day-to-day activities as expected from that age and gender. So there is a lot of hope. A person with arthritis can hope to live long like any other non-arthritis patient, but he has to do some of the things himself and herself, and then the medical team will guide how to proceed further in the life in a very safe manner. There are different things that can be done, and in our field, I like to sum up the main components, because rehabilitation plays a very important role in the life of any person with chronic disease. And arthritis is one of the prototypes of the chronic diseases. It is a disabling disease, but it is not necessary that every person with arthritis has to be disabled. So what I say is, if we remember the English alphabet E, it is the commonest alphabet in the English language. So first E is evaluation. No two persons with arthritis are same. What is the difference? We come to know through their proper and thorough evaluation. And this is essentially clinical, sometimes supported by investigations. Second E is education. When a person has to live long and the disease is chronic, he has to be educated about what are the aspects of life which are likely to be affected, how to pay attention to the body weight control, how to pay attention to the food and nutrition, how to adjust in the immediate environment. Third E is exercises, as Dr. Yadav also mentioned a short while ago. It is a very important component of the comprehensive management and rehabilitation. And then another E which plays a very important role, that is equipments. You must have seen in the day-to-day life many persons with arthritis using certain equipments such as walking stick or walker, and sometimes if finger joints are affected and deformed, they may have to use splints. So there are so many equipments which can make performance of day-to-day life easier, and they can reduce the strain on the joints, and sometimes the equipments are used to reduce the tendency to worsening of the deformities. And another E is immediate attention to the environment. For example, a person with arthritis of lower limb joints may find it difficult to climb stairs. If there are handrails attached to the stairs, he can hold and climb and come down easily. If stairs are replaced by ramps, it becomes even more easier. And if the person uses the lifts, that is wonderful.
So, of course, you have spelled out in, I think, the easiest terms really for the layman to understand, sir, from evaluation, of course, education to an early diagnosis, even the equipment, of course, a person uses, of great significance. But, Dr. Yadav, of course, in many cases, early diagnosis doesn't happen, as we're already discussing in most cases. And things reach a point where you need surgery. Now, take us through really the advancement which has happened in the field of surgery, because you just spoke about how it has revolutionized over the past few years. And can a person who goes for a complete, say, a joint replacement, and I speak of knee or hip replacement, can they totally resume back their normal life?
Excellent question. They can resume all their life. They can walk, they can cycle, they can play golf, they can go for swimming, they can go for trekking. Almost all activities are allowed. just for the longevity of implant, only one activity, if they do not do, like squatting on the floor, Indian toilet, if you avoid only one thing, rest other thing, they
Yeah.
can do everything. So it changed the really life of the persons, those who are in trouble, and they are always happy. बहुत आशीर्वाद दे के जाते हैं ओपीडी में, "यार, आपने क्या कर दिया." It is happens with everybody, every joint replacement surgery.
So why is there a misconception and fear amongst patients? I'll go to the concept of course, care which is needed post a surgery, but why is there a fear and misconception amongst people? Because many of these surgeries don't go as expected.
Yeah.
And that creates a fear psychosis in the mind of other patients as well, sir.
Fear is because India lives in many myths. It is one because of that, and second because of poorly done surgery. As I told you, it is the surgical skills which matters, which is 80 to 90% which matters. 10% includes biomaterial and environment. It should be safe environment. So poorly done surgery, if one patient is not happy, he will tell to 20 patients. And there are many myths in the country. It is one of the myths, I say like that. Otherwise, it is excellent
Just a myth,
procedure.
absolutely just a myth, nothing to fear. If you have a replacement surgery, it's better to get a surgery than live in pain. But again, I don't know how to convince people. I've been trying to convince my mother and I'm not able to convince my own mom. But Dr. Uma, do come in here. Post-surgery care, extremely crucial, ma'am, isn't it? Take us through really anyone who goes for a replacement surgery. What is the type of post-surgery care which is needed and the significance of the same, ma'am?
Look, treatment of rheumatoid arthritis or any other arthritis is so much advanced, and even the awareness is increasing. So less and less number of people would require replacement surgery. That's I wish. But yes, those who had undergone replacement surgery, they require certain kind of rehabilitation program to from strengthening of their muscles to gradually increase their activities, and whatever medicines are required, prescribed. And I think Dr. Yadav is the right person to answer this question, because in his day-to-day life, he's just managing, he's being the expert joint surgeon. So this is what is required. And I would like to highlight one thing, that patients who have arthritis and had undergone replacement surgery, they need to take their medicines for arthritis. It's not like, because arthritis is not affecting one joint. Just one joint is replaced, but the other joints are vulnerable for having arthritis. So they need to continue treatment for their arthritis to control disease activity in other joints.
So, ma'am, medication and of course even physiotherapy needs to go hand in hand. Dr. Vazwa, we speak in extremely difficult times, the times when we are in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, cases are at an all-time low. We all, unfortunately, to a large extent, have of course put our guards also down. But, sir, are you seeing, because of course, AIIMS is a premier institute, it sees a large influx of patients. Are you seeing less patients coming in, or patients who are hesitant in either private or the public sector to go for their physiotherapy? Because, of course, there is this fear psychosis, as I said, around COVID, sir, these days.
There are a few things which are very important to understand. Rehabilitation is comprehensive care. It is much more than physiotherapy. Some of the persons with arthritis, especially those who have involvement of the finger joints and thumb, etc., they require sometimes occupational therapy also. So there is much more to rehabilitation. Therapy is only one component. Then sometimes use of heat and cold is important. Some patients require hydrotherapy in order to facilitate performance of exercises with partial weight relief in the pool. Temperature of the pool water can also be controlled. So there are so many things depending upon the needs of the individual person.
But aren't they getting disrupted, sir, due to COVID? And that's my question. And what will you say?
There was
skipping it because of a fear of COVID in their mind, sir.
When COVID started, it was a total disruption of the life. This was exaggerated by the sudden severe lockdown throughout the country. So this did disrupt the treatment and visit of the persons to the hospitals, because transport was also hampered. But we did not stop the care of the arthritis patients. We made use of the technology available. We started teleconsultations, video consultations, tele-rehabilitation. All these things were started through the AIMS, and AIMS has been advocating and expanding these services. So our patients were in touch with us. Some of the patients who could not come to us because of the lockdown and restrictions, so that the infection
So
does
they
not
connected
spread.
with you virtually. I get your point, sir. Dr. Vadava, you may have that patient, that option, but Dr. Yadav doesn't, sir. I'm sure surgery one has to, of course, go physically. There is no escaping it. Did you see a disruption, sir? People, as I said, delaying their surgeries due to a fear of COVID. And also another question, a related question, before I take final comments from all of you, is to what extent can a person delay their surgery? Because most people delay it till a pretty old age, they wait as much as they can, because the fear is if you get your replacement done a little earlier, you may need another surgery. Is that a practical or the right approach, sir? What will be your take on that?
Great question once again. As I told you, if you do total knee or total hip replacement at the age of 50, it is forever. As I told you, it goes for 20 years, 30 years, even more than that. If it is done like in the department of OMA, rheumatoid arthritis, they are crippled, they are wheelchair bound. So
Yeah.
we even do joint replacement at the age of 18 or 20. So these patients will need one time more joint replacement around the age of 50. So, but it can be done, but it needs more expertise. It needs higher center. That is, we call it is a revision surgery, and revision surgery is also very successful. So, nothing is to worry. Quality of life is very important. If you are young, you are productive, get it done. If joints fails at the age of 50, once again, it can be done with a great result.
All right. So, of course, I think we're just driving home the point of not delaying surgery. And Dr. Ruma, last word as we close the program, what will be your message to people on World Arthritis Day? Since, of course, a lot of this conversation has centered around the significance and importance of early diagnosis and how it can help improve the overall lifestyle or life of those who are suffering, perhaps from even debilitating arthritis.
Right. I would like to tell that all joint pains are not arthritis, and arthritis in current times is completely treatable, and so much so that one may not require replacement later in life. You have to be having your physical activity right, 150 minutes per week, good diet, exercise, yoga, stay positive. And if you have symptoms suggestive of arthritis, don't delay, go and consult your rheumatologist. If they are not available, go to the physician.
Right, absolutely. Go visit your doctors at the earliest, if not a rheumatologist, at least a physician. Get your checkups and diagnosis done. Dr. Wadhwa, your last word, any advice to those who are watching the show, perhaps?
Never ignore the exercises. Exercises are useful for everybody. This improves overall fitness. And for persons with arthritis, they are more important. It is important to know which exercise is to be done and how. And regarding the dose of exercise, our Honorable Prime Minister has given a mantra, fitness ka dose आधा घंटा रोज. So if arthritis patients spare half an hour every day and perform the exercises properly and religiously, they tend to gain a lot. That is my message.
So, lifestyle, of course, from your eating habits to modification really of your erratic sleep patterns, if you have, and of course incorporating exercise, extremely crucial. Dr. Yadav, my last question to you is not going to be an advice. As we end, let's talk about the future. There were reports that there were scientists were working even on vaccination for arthritis. You, of course, are an expert really, sir, in the field of surgery. What advancement do you see in the future? How do you see really, give us a futuristic vision when it comes to treatment of arthritis, not just in India, but worldwide, sir, as we close the show?
Definitely, the scientists, they are trying, but still they have not succeeded.
Yes.
Clear-cut epidemiology says number of joint replacement, they are increasing all over the world, especially in country growth rate is 30%. In US, it is 10%. So they are trying, probably it may happen in the future. And my message, one message is also, Do not afraid of joint replacement. If you are really in pain, if it is the last, I also say it is the last resort. It should not be done in early stage of arthritis. Then Uma and Dr. Wadhwa should take care.
The attempt really we have made is to dispel the myths around, of course, surgery, and also to dispel all the misconception about arthritis. I hope this show has been as useful and as informative for our viewers as it has been for me. And if we can
Exactly.
convince even one person really
Exactly.
go ahead with the needed or necessary treatment, we would have hoped and we would really felt that. But thank you so much. We are running out of time. Thank you all for joining us and taking our time to speak to NewsX on the show. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.